Christine.
And I'm John.
We're producers at WETA and best friends.
That's right. We both love living in the DC area, but finding a place to live here can be tough.
Join us as we tour homes in Anacostia.
And find out what it would be like
If you lived here.
Today, we're in Anacostia, one of the earliest suburbs of Washington, D.C., on the eastern shore of the Anacostia River.
The architecture in historic Anacostia varies, from A-frames to cottage-style homes and brick row houses, most with front porches and roof lines that reflect the neighborhood's working-class character in the 19th century.
There are real gems here, architecture that many folks don't even know are still here and being restored.
So, Anacostia has great homes, history, sculptures, murals, and even a giant chair.
And thanks to the ongoing efforts of the Anacostia Water Initiative, there's renewed access to the Anacostia River with more trails and parks.
To share her own story of Anacostia and to show us 3 homes in the area today, we're off to meet realtor Shalisha Ragland.
Well, we better hurry because I think the forecast is calling for rain.
No worries. I brought my WETA umbrella.
You were always prepared. Let's go.
There's a lot of green space that I wasn't expecting.
There is. I'm glad we brought this umbrella
All right,
today.
can we get at least 2 umbrellas next time?
Yeah, I think we need to pledge for another.
I think so.
Okay, here we are, 15, 14, Howard.
I'm gonna go for it.
Hi,
Shalisha.
How are you?
Good.
Hey there, did you order this ring?
I did not, but welcome to Anacostia. I'm so excited that you guys are here.
Well, so are we.
We are too.
Have you lived here?
Well, that's kind of the joke of the show.
It is
like
the joke of the show.
Many places, most of these
He's
places.
lived everywhere.
But I haven't lived in Anacostia yet.
Not yet. Well, I am from here. I went to high school here, so I'm your girl. If you need anything, I'm very familiar with the area.
But I also know that you weren't always a real estate agent.
That is true. I was a police officer for 12 years.
Well, thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you so much. I
And-
appreciate that.
So tell us a little bit more about the neighborhood.
This neighborhood is wonderful. You're located about a half a mile from the Frederick Douglass House, notably our most famous resident ever of Anacostia. You're also a short walk to Anacostia Metro Station, which is about a half mile as well. The only Starbucks east of the river is located in walking distance.
Well, we do love our car.
We do love our
Yeah.
That's a must.
This is going to be your starter home. This house was built in 1942. You have a basement, and you also have a separate entrance downstairs if you're into house
that's
hacking,
nice.
which a lot of people in this area are getting into now.
Absolutely.
Especially in the starter homes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you were talking about things,
Yeah.
I was glancing.
Okay.
So I can't wait to take a look at this adorable home.
Well, she's starting her tally, so because we're gonna play a game today at all 3 homes.
A game. I like
So
that.
we are gonna try to guess the prices of all 3 homes today, and whoever gets closest to the list price without going over.
Not a penny.
Like
Not a
the
penny
price
over.
is right, huh?
Yeah.
Price is
Okay.
Right rules.
That's right rules.
Will win. Bragging rights.
Well, I'm not going to make it easy on you.
Please. We're like 2 people.
Don't make it easy on me.
And I'll be right out here if you need anything.
Sounds like a
Awesome. All
plan.
right, guys. Have
Okay.
fun.
Oh, you know what? I hear a squeak in the floor.
Yeah.
I love that.
Authentic.
It
Feels
is.
right. This is brand spanking new.
It is. It is completely renovated. You know, they really hit all the points everybody wants. Plenty of counter space, plenty of cabinet space, great appliances.
I also love this subway tile in smoky gray.
And you know what else? I like that little counter that you're leaning on. It's super cute.
Quite nice for a little breakfast counter, having your daily coffee here. Okay, so we can go up or we can go down.
Well, I really like this door, so let's go down. Thank you.
There you go. Have this
Okay, this is a nice lower living space.
and the great robin's egg blue carried down
Right,
to
right. How do you feel about the ceiling?
I'm fine with the ceiling because, this was built in 42, so you expect not high ceiling. So,
Well, I would call it like a John Begeny plus a foot.
yeah, that's enough.
Washer dryer.
Yes.
Okay.
And full bathroom.
Nice size for down here.
Oh, yeah.
So,
What do you say we head upstairs?
sounds like a plan.
All right, up we go.
Okay, but wait. This is like a built-in stage for a kid. I mean, you come down and you like perform for the family. Want to burst into a little Annie or I don't know, Ethel Merman or something.
Ethel
I don't
Merman?
know. Keep going.
What century are you in? Ethel Merman. And top floor into the main bedroom.
Okay.
Through these windows in Howard Road, very nice.
Okay, so here's another bedroom.
Yep, bedroom number 3.
And you know, it's a little small, but it is a starter home.
Yes.
So this would make a great nursery.
Or an office, or a sewing room.
Thank you.
Do people have sewing rooms today? I think a sewing room.
And right around the corner, we have the full bath.
They've done some space-saving tricks here with this smaller sink up here.
But it's a smaller space, but overall, I mean, nice tile, nice shower head.
Okay, I think I've seen everything I need to make my guess. How about you?
I think I have too.
Okay, well, let's
All
go
right.
down and play the game, Tina Louise.
Let's go find Shalisha.
You won't have to look far. I'm right here. How'd it go?
It's a cute house.
It is. Because it was built in the 40s, I love homes that have a little character.
Yes.
So the minute we walked in and we saw these hardwood floors, you know, there's a history behind that. And I'm so glad they kept them.
It's a very comfortable home. It has
Yeah.
a very good vibe.
Well, before you guess, let me run it down for you again, okay? We're in historic Anacostia. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, fully renovated home, original flooring that we love. Brick home, important to note that, built in 1942, okay? 1,482 square feet. You have a basement downstairs. If you're into house hacking, you can rent it out, so that adds value. But remember, we're in Anacostia. We're a bit detached from the rest of DC, so closest grocery store is about a mile away, okay?
All right, I'm ready to go.
Okay, John.
So I'm going to go with a price of $400,000, even Steven.
Okay.
And I'm nicely wrapped up in a box for you.
Well, thank you. I received that. Your turn.
So I'm actually going to come in at a listing price of $420,000.
Okay. The winner cannot go over.
No.
The actual list price for this house is $409,500.
Are you kidding? It's 409? So I won.
That was about 10,000 over, and you were about 10,000 under.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
the district, so you never know for sure, right?
Well, that's a good price for a good home.
It
This
is.
would be a
Beautiful
great
starter
investment.
home.
Yeah,
House
great
number
starter
1.
home.
All right, let's get on to the next home.
Okay.
The sun's coming out, so we can walk on.
Let's do it.
See, the rain's stopping, the sun's coming out. Though Anacostia can feel cut off from the rest of D.C., the history of the Southwest waterfront and Anacostia has been inextricably linked since World War II.
In 1949, Southwest was cleared. It was flattened. But we had no experience as a society with flattening and urban renewal. And people were pushed out. There were very poor plans for where in a city that had a tight housing market, segregation, could poor people find a place to live. And one of the places they went was to Anacostia. Across behind me is where the Anacostia and the Potomac rivers meet. And along the Anacostia River, where is now 295, is Barry's Farm. And in that area, developers making maximum profit jerry-built new buildings. And the poor people from here in large numbers went there. And they were glad to go there because it was new housing. It had indoor plumbing. It had kitchens with modern conveniences. It had playgrounds for children. It was not understood to be a bad deal at the time, but they were badly built, and they were quickly built. And by the turn of the 21st century, they had all but been demolished.
Those decisions had long-lasting repercussions for Southeast, and they are still felt to this day.
Anacostia and east of the river have traditionally, unfortunately, been disinvested in. There have been some systemic inequities that have occurred. In Ward 8, where Anacostia is, there's only one grocery store for over 80,000 people. That's insane. It's unfortunate and it's sad that it's taken this long for folks to see and understand the beauty of Anacostia, the power of the people. But for many years, again, this was not a place where people were trying to invest. But now people are starting to come east of the river. Now they're starting to see all of the assets that you have in this community.
Developers, nonprofits, and community leaders are working to ensure that the residents of Southeast benefit from the new projects that aim to reconnect Anacostia to the rest of D.C.
We are currently standing on the east bank of the Anacostia River. Behind me is the future site of the 11th Street Bridge Park. Both sides of the river have a wealth of history, so the idea came about to create a park that would connect both sides. There's a wealth of natural resources that we don't even associate with Washington, D.C. But the other side of this is that there has been a continued disinvestment in the Anacostia neighborhood and in Southeast D.C. and east of the river communities. And so you will see, like, for example, that there's 295, which goes and cuts through the neighborhood and really kind of creates almost like a disconnect between the Anacostia community and the park itself. This park is an opportunity for both sides of the community to find the different treasures that lie on both banks. This park really is, in many ways, an iconic representation of two communities coming together.
Okay, welcome to house number 2.
Where are we in relation to the rest of the stuff?
Right now, we're right off of Good Hope Road. There's a lot of development going on Good Hope Road. They're going to be building the new Skyline Town Center.
Okay.
There's going to be restaurants over there, new apartments, and a grocery store, which we desperately need.
Fantastic.
Yeah. We are in an historic area. These homes are a little older. We are detached. We have 3 bedrooms with the possible 4th if you don't want a den.
Okay.
It's going to be on the main level.
Okay.
Did I say 1 bathroom? No.
What did you say?
There's 1 bathroom.
I thought she said there was only 1 bathroom.
There is.
Okay, all right.
I'm just having flashbacks
okay?
of when I grew up with
Well,
2 sisters.
This home was built in 1905.
Old homes, 1905.
Yes.
We appreciate
Yes,
good
of
bones.
course.
You
so
shared
there
the
you go.
bathroom with mom and dad and your aunts and your
With
grandfather.
everyone, yes,
Everybody lived
Lord.
together. Yes.
So I want you guys to go in. If I don't hear from you in a while, I'm going to come in and check, okay?
Sounds
Okay.
great.
John, don't break anything.
I'm not going to touch anything, no problem.
She knows you already.
I only break hearts. Okay,
Okay,
here we go.
you guys have fun.
So obviously this has been renovated, but it still has that 1905 flavor. Right away, I see the staircase.
Right, and you know what I like is that they match the dark wood floors with the darker staircase.
Yes.
And I'm guessing that this is probably the potential bedroom.
Well, I would call it the front parlor of this house, but I think you're absolutely right. You know, if you put 2 doors here, it would officially make this a bedroom. Looks like it's got a closet. But if I lived here, I'd keep it as one big living space.
I think I would too. But I have to admit, when I first walked into this house, the first thing I noticed was this archway.
Yes.
Sometimes for me, it's just simple little architectural finds like this that tend to pop.
Yeah, I love this arch as well.
All right, now here's the kitchen.
Very nice kitchen.
And I could see a good-sized family gathering around in here.
Yeah, you know, we've seen a lot of kitchens, and it looks like this one checks a lot of the boxes. Granite countertops, very nice. And more of a rustic backsplash here, a little bit.
A little different.
The thing that I like as well, that just gives it a little bit more flair, is the ceiling.
I knew you were gonna really gravitate towards
there's
that.
a half vault. And then you have this very interesting, you know, different graded ceiling all the way throughout this space to the dining room. So it adds a lot of flavor.
It does.
Let's head up these beautiful stairs.
Okay, so here we have a bedroom.
First bedroom.
Yep.
This is probably the biggest one, don't you think?
Probably, especially because it's got the 3 windows, and to me, it's probably the best location in the house because you have a nice view of the trees.
And bedroom number 2, it's a little small.
I don't think it's bad.
No.
Okay. Did you notice the archway?
Another arch for
know.
you. Well, here's bedroom number 3.
Okay, now if you walked in and said this was a small bedroom, I would agree with you on this
There's
one.
no denying that. But you could fit a bed in here, but probably an office would be better.
Nursery.
Or adding another bathroom.
That's
How about
an
that?
idea.
Okay. Into
The bathroom.
The bathroom.
Now, savor it because this is the only bathroom.
well,
So
I think we've seen the whole house.
I know, and I'm feeling the pressure.
Don't feel the pressure. Hello there, yeah.
Hi. So what did you think?
I love the flow of this floor. From the time you walk into the living room, and then that den in the front, which could be a bedroom, which I would leave it as a den, because that gives you just a big living space.
And I love the windows on older homes because they tend to be larger.
Lots of natural light coming in.
Sure.
Definitely.
Remember, this home is 3 bedrooms with a possible 4th,
Yes?
1 bathroom. But we're detached with 2 parking spaces in the back.
Yes?
Okay, we're under 1,300 square feet, so keep that in mind.
So I'm going to come in at a list price of, I'm going to say $499,000.
Okay. John?
So, okay, I'm gonna go lock in with a very spontaneous price of $525,000.
Christine?
Yes.
I'm so disappointed in you.
Did I win?
John, the list price of this home is $525.
That's like you went, that's like the double showcase.
That's the first time that has happened.
Anacostia is your good luck charm.
I love you,
This is
Anacostia.
turning into my saddest episode yet.
Okay, well, we do have a 3rd home to see, which happens to be the most expensive listing in all of Anacostia right now. So, Christine, if you win that one, I'll give you some extra credit for it.
So wait, what you're saying is there's hope for me?
Yes, good hope. Since we're near Good
That's
Hope
right,
Road,
there's
there's
Good
hope
Hope
for
for
you.
you.
All right, guys, let's head on over there and take a look.
Sounds great.
Okay? John, are you trying to take my job?
When you start talking about like the real DC, the heart of DC, the character of DC, you get that from folks who live in Anacostia, who grew up in Anacostia.
Anacostia and east of the river is still a place where there are generational families that have essentially been here since the Civil War, since Reconstruction, and even before the Civil War. And so the community has a very sacred sense of itself and its history. Old Anacostia is actually the oldest historic district in Washington, D.C. It's the only residential historic district east of the river, and that is essentially due to the Frederick Douglass House. Cedar Hill is the epicenter of Anacostia Historic District. In his lifetime, Frederick Douglass had the back, the front, and both sides of this community. He lobbied for street infrastructure. He lobbied for better schools, for better accommodations. And this spirit of benevolence that Frederick Douglass put down in his lifetime continues to be respected, recognized today, and people feel it incumbent upon themselves to add to this legacy of goodwill.
The core of everything we do is rooted in the community. Our premise is that you listen to people, you follow their lead, and we bring the resources and advocacy and support that we can to help folks achieve their dream. So we know that the shiny stuff is coming, we know that the businesses are coming, but this time it should be the residents of Anacostia who own the businesses, who are the property managers in the shiny building, who own the building, who are, you know, the ones who, again, are benefiting and prospering from that, which we know it's on its way.
I don't have a problem with gentrification, but I do have a problem when gentrification skips over the people that really fought for the growth in the community. I think we have the potential to achieve what we had 70, 80 years ago, in which we had shops up and down the block. There were bakeries, there were clothing shops, there was groceries, all those things that you need for a community to be tight-knit was here, but you don't see that anymore. So it always really resonated with me, like, how do we get back to that point? I chose to open up a store here mainly because it was quite possibly the best option in the city for opening up a restaurant, but I also found this opportunity to bring something into the area which was not here before. This is a food desert, so it was really nice to create a restaurant in which everything is actually made in-house, everything is fresh, really focusing on making high-quality food for a price that the locals can actually afford. The new developments, these are all great opportunities to regrow this area and to make it something that it once was, if not better.
Where we and Martha's Table and me personally are really trying to play a role is that the people who are here today who are those third and fourth generation Washingtonians have the opportunity to stay and thrive as those projects start, investing in the community, as the new businesses come, to make sure, again, that folks don't get pushed out if you put in place the systems and supports so that they can be on a path to success. They can achieve their dreams. They can and they will.
Okay, here we are. It's been a long day, but thank you guys for sticking with me. This is the gem of Anacostia right now.
Wow, you have delivered.
This has curb appeal for sure.
Absolutely. So this home was built in 1920.
1920, that's gonna be my year.
All right.
1905 wasn't.
Thanks for the reminder.
All right, it's a federal-style home. I'm sure you've noticed the beautiful wraparound porch.
Yes.
And something that I think you guys will find interesting is that it was a multi-unit property that they've converted to one single-family home. In that multi-unit, they shared one kitchen.
Love that.
She'd love it. She'd be like, what's for dinner?
That could work. That could work. Get in there, guys. Have fun.
Hello, 1920s house transformed into modern, clean, beautiful.
And the minute you walk in, you just see this big, beautiful open space.
Yes.
And you notice the coffered ceilings?
Nice coffered ceilings. And how about these floors?
Wow, usually you're the one looking up and I'm looking at the
A
floors.
little reversal there.
It is, but I do love these floors. And they're cherry. You see this little bit of a wave?
Yep.
They're made to look like that. It's made to look like a craftsman was taking his planer and planing them by hand.
Yes.
To give it that real rustic kind of old look.
I'm sure back in the day, 1920s house, this was a bunch of little rooms. All right, leads us into this gorgeous kitchen.
So this was the formerly shared kitchen. If I had a kitchen like this, I don't think I would share it.
I'm sure the shared kitchen was probably smaller than this one.
It probably was. But look what they've done. I mean, quartz countertops.
Yes, very nice quartz.
And also they streamline the lighting, which I really like.
I don't gravitate towards kind of modern lighting like this, but it really fits in this space.
It really does.
And this, palette of grays, and that tile, which is glass and marble.
And that's what I like, is that you've got your quartz countertops and it blends right in with the backsplash.
Let's see what else is on this floor. All right. First bedroom.
So keeping in mind that this house did have separate little units, with this outside door here, I'm guessing that this was one.
I think you're absolutely correct.
So this must be half bath.
No, it's a full bath.
It's a full bath.
So this would be great for a rental unit, Airbnb, or mother-in-law suite. But it's also good because you can age in place in this home, right? And live on one level.
Right. That's what's nice.
That's great.
Okay.
All right, so
Downstairs or upstairs?
let's go up.
Sounds good.
I love this staircase. It is so wide.
Well, what I love is the metal railing. We haven't seen much of that.
That's that industrial modern look.
Does get
I
that
dig
industrial.
it. All right. Well, drawn right to this.
Oh.
Bathroom number 2.
You know what I love in here?
Yeah.
The fixtures, and I love those rain shower hanging.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And I like the detail. Nice
So this must be, oh, it's
Main
good
bedroom?
size. It must be the owner's bedroom.
Yeah, it must be, because it's front of the house, big room,
They carried the cherry flooring all the way up. Lots of natural light.
double closets. Bathroom number 3.
I'm glad you're keeping track.
Alrighty, so owner's bathroom.
Ooh, I gotta try this out. Oh, don't you just love that? Doesn't it look like a gentle waterfall?
I love a good faucet.
But you know what I really like?
What's that?
Is that when you walk in the morning, you don't have to see yourself at 6 a.m. There's no mirror.
Okay, the mirrors haven't been installed yet.
So are you keeping track of all these bathrooms?
Yes, like 17. No, that's 3 bathrooms.
Okay, so here's bedroom number 2.
No, number 3.
3.
Number 3. Nice size.
Yeah, closet.
I like this hallway as well.
I know, it's like a little hidden passage.
It's like you're going into
somewhere.
a suite here.
Oh, isn't this cute?
Oh, this is my favorite room.
Dibs.
You can't call dibs if I can't walk in and say, oh, this is my favorite room.
Okay.
But this has a really cool vibe. These little windows, it's like you're up in a treehouse.
Well, it feels like this little hidden nook that's all yours. I bet this is bathroom number something.
Yeah, 4,
Okay.
5. Oh, watch your step down. We had to put a little warning tape on there, be careful.
Okay, this is not the bathroom.
It could be a bathroom.
It
It's
could,
so big.
but
Actually,
what a great storage area.
yeah.
Just watch your step.
Watch your step.
Down. Okay.
All right, one more level, all the way down to the basement.
Okay, bonus room.
Nice, finished. Ductwork.
Hey, you know why they call it ductwork?
Why?
Because you had to duck to go under.
That quacks me up. Okay, good room, TV room.
Yeah, but you know, it does go on.
Yeah, and you know, I like this because it smells new. You know, it doesn't smell like it's a 100-year-old basement.
That's true. Should we go find Shalisha?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Hey guys!
Hey.
What a house.
Did you love it?
Oh my gosh, you nailed this one.
Could you tell that it was a multi-unit? They did so much work.
Maybe just with the mother-in-law suite, it has a separate
With a
door.
separate door.
All right,
Yeah.
so we have 4 bedrooms,
Yes.
4.5 baths,
Yes.
single-family detached home, Southeast DC with 2 parking spaces in the back. Fully renovated, top to bottom. Christine, I'm gonna give you some more time to think.
Thank you.
John, I'm gonna let you go first.
I'm going to put in a firm guess of, and it could be anywhere and around. You know, when I was a kid, no. I'm going to put in a firm guess of $750,000.
$750,000.
This house is worth that, if
Got
not
it.
more.
Okay. Christine?
All right, I feel the pressure. You know, I don't want to let you down, but I really don't want to let him win. So I'm going to do a listing price of $725,000.
$725,000.
Yes.
Christine, I really wanted to give this to you.
Did I win? Does that mean I won?
John, Anacostia loves you.
I know it does.
I don't know what you did or why Anacostia loves you so much, but she didn't love you enough.
Thank you.
Okay.
The list price for 1334 T Street Southeast is $739,000.
Okay.
Well, I still love you, Anacostia. I did win too.
Thank you for coming to Anacostia. You know, this is my home. I grew up here, and just to see everything that's happening around here, it makes me so happy. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to want to explore.
Oh, absolutely. You know she's gonna wear this thing all day now.
I am.
So I'm happy
John,
for
I
you
do
then.
have something for you.
You do?
Yes.
Runner-up prize?
Anacostia Park is a short walk away, so we're gonna go roller skating.
Roller skating. I am in, Shalisha. That is
Let's
great.
roll.
Let's roll.
I'm just going to save her with my stash.
Come on, Shalisha. She'll be there a while.
We'll meet you there.
Okay, I'll see ya.
Come on.
I'm coming.
If you lived here in Anacostia, you also know that you always say good morning.
If you lived here in Anacostia, you would have the best of both worlds. You'd have the real DC, you'd have character, you'd have history, you'd have views.
Within a matter of minutes, whether you want to walk, ride a bike, you don't even really need to drive. There's a lot of entertainment things that are going on in the venue of the whole redevelopment plan that's going on in Anacostia.
The architecture is phenomenal.
If you lived here in Anacostia, you would definitely appreciate the diversity, the culture, and all the projects that are coming soon.
To find out more about living in the Washington metro area, visit WETA.org/ifyoulived here.